Hello everybody, my name is Hillary Pacheco. I am the Information Services and Teen Specialist for the Jackson County Public Library in Seymour, Indiana. And today I will be showing you how to make your DIY circuit holiday card. In your kit, you should have everything on the table here. So you will get some copper wire with a sticky back, predisposed length to whatever you need for your card. And then in a small baggie, you should also get a battery and a diode or two. And then you will also get the card with the pre-printed press button. And when you open it up, you'll have a piece of colored paper along with your circuit instructions. So what I want you to do is open up your card like I have here and lay it flat. Scoot it back so you can see. And then all we're going to do is follow the directions that are on this card. So you're going to take your copper tape first, and you do not want to cut this where there's bends. If you can bend the tape, bend the tape. But if you have to cut it for whatever reason at one of these turns, just make sure it sticks to itself on both sides. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so I'm gonna start with what goes under my battery, which is this gray dot here. So we're gonna start by taking the sticky back off of the copper tape. And you just wanna peel that apart like that. And then I'm just gonna keep mine attached because I think that's easier to do the turns with. And I'm just gonna lay it right where there's the brown outline for the copper tape. Now our first turn, I like to move mine over to the side where I'm turning into, if that makes sense. And then you're just gonna kind of fold, and that's part of the reason why I like to keep the backing on. I think it makes it easier to do turns. And you're just gonna kind of lay it down with your finger as you go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can get it flat like I have over here and not with crinkles, then that will help. So our second turn, just gonna fold it over and bring it down, and we're gonna stop real quick right here because you'll see it says to tape the LED short leg to the copper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my diode out of the pack here. I'll go ahead and take the battery out too. And I'm not gonna secure the battery yet. I just wanna lay it there so I know where it goes. So you'll see they have on the diodes here a shorter leg and a longer leg. So right here it says the short leg to this side. So I'm just gonna make this diode do the splits. I'm gonna lay this down. So the light is face up. And again, if you can get it flat, kudos to you, but just do the best you can. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my copper wire and use that to secure the short leg to the paper. Okay. And then I'm going to take, you can use scissors. I have a small x-acto knife here, or you can just tear it. So what you wanna do is cut that. Make sure not to cut your paper. And then we're just gonna go and skip over to here and finish off that circuit. So you'll see what completes the circuit is not where the copper's touching copper, it's where the diode is touching the copper. So this jump here creates a nice jump circuit and completes the circuit that we need in order for it to light up. And again, turns are tricky. Do your best. Oh no, see? Sometimes a tear will happen, and what you want to do if that does happen, don't panic. Easy fix. And we will continue the circuit by connecting these two. I kind of overlay mine. And you can see I'm just kind of peeling the copper tape as I go. It's going to be a little harder if you peel off all the backing first and then try to stick it straight down. So I like to peel off the backing as I go and kind of smooth it out. Okay, we've gotten all the way to the end over here. So again, what you can do is just kind of tear it. Or if you have scissors, cut, either way. It's not going to hurt your project. Okay, so we have the circuit complete other than one of the most notable parts, which is the battery to make the diode light up. So before we move on, you do want to use 2 pieces of tape, and I've just taped the legs over top of the copper. Make sure that your battery is the plus side up before we tape it down. And I'm just going to kind of peel back so we have some of that middle exposed so it can touch this piece of copper that's over here when we close the card. What I want you to do is go ahead and fold it over. Make sure that you feel the battery real good here where it says press. And then I just want you to kind of feel your diode for this one should come out in the nose because we want his nose to light up. So I want you to kind of feel around and see where that diode is. Maybe kind of make a mark on there with your finger if you can. And then take some scissors or something sharp, maybe even a pencil that you can poke through if you don't have anything sharp to use or don't want to. I'm using a small x-acto knife. And I'm just going to cut a little X right over top of that diode so I can push it through. Okay. I might cut away some of this excess paper. So you kind of got a little peek through there. Because that's all we want. And then since we don't want whoever to open this, whoever we give it to open it and see this, what we're going to do is take your piece of colored paper, lay it over top, and again, I'm going to feel for that diode. And if I can find that diode, then I can take my knife again and kind of cut through here. And cut a little bigger piece on this one just because it does have to poke through 2 layers. So there's that. And then I'm gonna fold it over again. This is the second layer it has to come through. I'm just gonna kind of play a game of lining up where his nose goes. Boop. Cute. And once we have that done, now's a good time to probably tape down your piece of colored paper just so it doesn't move when you go to line it up again. So I'm just taking tape and folding it over on both ends so it connects to make a circle. And I'm just gonna tape the corner pieces down so that this red piece of paper doesn't move while I'm trying to make my cuts. And I'm just gonna do 3 edges for right now. The next thing we need to feel for is that battery. So we just need the middle piece of that battery. Remember when it said to tape the edges of it only, so the middle's exposed? We want that middle piece that's exposed. We don't need the whole thing. If you want to cut out the whole battery, you're more than welcome to. It may connect better if you do that. But I'm gonna start out with just a small piece because you can't make things smaller once you have already cut the big. And then the reason that I didn't tape down the 3rd edge over here or just lightly taped it is because I need that piece of copper to touch the battery. So I'm gonna line this up over my finger and just kind of carefully, because you don't want to cut all the way through the front of your card. So I'm kind of holding up this piece separate from this main white piece. And I'm just gonna kind of make a little square where I think that copper is. I'm just gonna pop that out. And there we have the little piece of copper. I'm gonna make it just a little bigger on mine. Because again, you can make it bigger if you start small, but you can't make it smaller if you start big. So you just want to be conscious of that when you're doing this. And it looks like I need to cut a little bigger where this copper tape is. This is why we test it beforehand. And I might cut a little bigger of a hole for the battery as well, so more of it is exposed. Because what's that gonna do? It's going to complete the circuit when this end of the copper touches this battery. It's gonna make this diode light up. Okay, and then once you poke your diode through all the way, you should be able to press this button here like it says to and have your reindeer nose light up. And now you can go in here where we've relayed this nice red paper and you can write out your message, make it say whatever you want. You can even include something about being bright since you have this diode here. And yeah, there you go. There's your holiday card. You've just made a circuit. Happy holidays.